Let's clap it up. You know what I'm saying? Five-a-side podcast. Episode, hold on. 80, bro.
Jeez.
Episode 80 of the Five-a-side podcast. That's absolutely ridiculous.
80
Today,
is disgusting.
80 is disgusting. Who am I joined by?
What's going on, guys? Seb here.
Josh.
Gabriel.
Kendrick.
All right, we got a lot to get into today. We got a lot of food on the table because a couple of the brothers here are breaking fast because it is Ramadan right now. We're talking about some historical performances from that time of the year. That time of the year also means the Champions League, so we're in the round of 16. Things are getting very, very exciting. My guys just won today. Also Women's History Month, so shout out all the wavy women in the world doing their thing.
Who's your
both in
guys?
soccer and across, huh?
Who's your guys?
Who's my what?
Your guys.
My guys. A la Madrid, ya tú sabes, bro. Come on, dog. Come on. Got that, and then plenty more, obviously, as always, Bundesliga, LaLiga, et cetera, et cetera. But for our questions of the week, we got a few different themed ones. We're going to start with Ramadan. So it is Ramadan to everybody out there who is celebrating. A lot of crazy performances have occurred from it. We have Benzema, we have Conte and Mahrez on the Leicester City run. Any specific ones that y'all want to shout out? Obviously, I'll talk about Benzema, but classic moments, Ramadan blank, that you want to shout out as historical performances.
Before we start, can we break fast real fast?
And that is authenticity, folks. Let's do it. Yeah.
The first player that comes to mind in general is Conte. Like, I feel like people know that he's most known for just being a workhorse, like having insane stamina, covering the most distance on the pitch. And so to think about being essentially like nutritionless throughout the whole day, not hydrating your body in a certain way, but still being able to outrun everybody and kind of have that work rate, like, that's crazy. And then Sadio, one more shout out would be Sadio Mane. I believe like a few years ago, he scored a goal against Valencia in the Champions League, like, I want to say like quarterfinal, maybe semifinal. But it was right after an interview that he did where he talked about how like Jurgen Klopp was like the first coach that actually like changed their practice schedule to account for like the players that are observing Ramadan. So shout out to Liverpool, shout out to Klopp, shout out to Sadio.
I think one of the crazier things, the fact that Mahrez and Conte won the Premier League during a period of that season fasting is insane because that club had just been promoted into the Prem. And for them to literally be competing with Premier League talent for the first time in their careers, especially Conte, who had never competed at that level, and then finally make it to winning the Premier League against a Tottenham who should have won it, and many other clubs who were also vying for it that year, I think is incredibly special. It's a testament to what your faith can do for you. Other Muslim athletes that have recently won titles, at AC Milan, Frank Kessie and Ismail Ben Nasser won the Serie A. And it was also a cool period because they got a lot of their non-Muslim teammates to join in fasting during Ramadan. So, for example, Rafael Leao fasted during Ramadan with Ben Nasser, broke his fast with them. So it's cool to see kind of like the welcomingness of the Muslim community, especially athletes, and how Ramadan itself has progressed. Some people might not know, but Ramadan used to be something that Muslim athletes had to hide. So like if they were fasting, Premier League players, Ligue 1 players, would have to pretend to be injured or would have to walk off the field and like go to the physio and get, maybe it's a drink of water, maybe it's a couple dates passed in secret. And so it's just cool how far the game has gone, where now you have different leagues specifically stopping their games to let players break their fast when the sun sets, and crowds applauding it and people being a part of it. I think there's like Chelsea and Manchester United have created specific like prayer areas for teams for fans within the stadium to go and like pray when the sun sets. Yeah. So Ramadan Mubarak to our Muslim followers.
For sure. I got to personally shout out Ramadan Karim Benzema.
Indeed.
2023, he had 3 hat tricks in the March of 2023. Hat tricks against Real Valladolid, hat trick against FC Barcelona, in a Copa del Rey semifinal. They won 4-0 in Barcelona. Hat trick against Almeria as well, and also scored a goal in the Champions League quarterfinal versus Chelsea. To be doing all of that during the holy month of Ramadan is incredible. And yeah, I mean, he also had amazing performances the season before that in the Champions League during Ramadan as well, and helping Madrid in the title race. So be able to do that, not just that incredible month, but the year before as well. Ramadan Karim, and I think it's probably some of the most famous Ramadan footy performances we've ever seen.
Yeah.
And as a Real Madrid fan, just have to shout him out because that was iconic. The peak of his career, honestly.
Yeah.
Fresh off the Ballon d'Or and everything too.
Peak,
So
very much the peak.
unbelievable.
The hat trick he scored against Chelsea in the Champions League, like
The year before that,
everybody was stunned, bro.
Yeah.
Like one, like it was a crazy hat trick, but then doing that while on a fast was just brazy. Like scoring headers, scoring bangers.
Yeah.
Like
Everybody remember that header, boy.
Crazy header. Mendy didn't
Yeah.
know what was coming at him,
Yeah,
bro.
bro.
I had never seen a header that much power.
like powerful,
bro, besides
And-
maybe that one Van Persie one, that was crazy.
And
crazy.
I think like one of the most beautiful things about it too is like when a lot of Muslim players kind of reflect on like playing during this time.
Yeah.
A lot of the interviewers and stuff asked them like, yo, like how do you find the energy? How do you find the strength? Like this doesn't make sense. And they all kind of almost unanimously just talk about how the fact that like they find strength in God. You know what I'm saying? Like the amazing feats that you see them do on the pitch aren't coming from like the food that they ate before the match.
Yeah.
It's coming from like a deeper place. And I think that's a beautiful thing for folks to just reflect on.
Yeah. And shout out everybody else going through this journey this month as well, doing your own accomplishments that might not be on the athletic field as well.
Yeah.
It's very tough, as y'all know, doing the fasting from a mental standpoint. You might have massive presentations. I know people pursuing med school have talked about taking the MCAT during it. So being able to get through stuff like that, 7-hour exams on it,
Yeah.
congrats to y'all, man. That's a lot of diligence and work and discipline.
Another player I meant to shout out was Amad Diallo.
Yeah.
The boy.
Got us to the FA Cup last year.
That's fire.
Ramadan Diallo.
Ramadan Diallo.
He deactivated his social media. Just balled out. Had that game win against Liverpool.
Yep.
Sometimes I'm trying to be like him.
Yeah, bro.
0 dark 30.
Gotta lock in.
Back in.
And another like cool story that I noticed recently, the Rangers are playing against Fenerbahce in the Europa League, and the first leg is in Turkey or Turkey. And the Rangers actually like issued a statement to their fans basically saying, while this should not significantly impact traveling supporters, please be respectful of local customs, avoid eating, drinking, smoking, or chewing gum in public during daylight hours. They also said to avoid playing loud music and dancing in public spaces and to refrain from swearing in public. And I think that's just incredible that they actually, the admin, the administration, the ownership, everybody who green lighted it actually took the steps to like say like, yo, when you go to this predominantly Muslim country, like during this time, please do the most to actually respect local customs. Because I feel like I haven't really seen any other team do that. I'm sure that's happened before, but shout out to Rangers for taking that step.
And like, as that part of the world, England, Scotland, Ireland are known for insane fans, especially insane traveling fans. Because I've seen Tottenham fans in Madrid actually when I saw a Champions League game there. And just seeing, like, you just had the vibe of, like, look at these drunk London kind of assholes.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That, like, you could just, like, they were way loud. I don't know. You could just kind of feel that energy. So to have that part of the world, the British, the Scottish, all right, let's be respectful when we travel, whoever known as not being good travelers, that's really important, man. That's really, really important.
So you kind of just reminded me of something.
Were you eating like the camera the whole time? That's hilarious. For the clip should be fine. Or, no, it won't be fine. Yeah. That's funny, though. If you're watching the full pod.
Yeah. That reminded me of something because recently there's been a lot of discussion on social media about club badges and like the religiousness of club badges. There was a little bit of anger at AC Milan for putting Diavoli on top of the logo. It means devils in Italian, which is, it's a Christian club. Historically, we have the cross on the club badge, so there is a certain level of oddity when you're putting Diavoli on top of a cross. But there's also been conversations from Muslim creators about wearing club badges that have the cross on it and how that can be deemed as, like something that's not proper in Islam. Haram. And it depends on what sect of Islam you follow and how conservative you are. But different people have different feelings about that. But there's also clubs that just in kind of like researching that, clubs, when they go to predominantly Muslim countries, will actually change their badge. Real Madrid has actually changed their badge when they've gone and played at the UAE. I don't know if you can see games.
Oh, the tiny little
There's
cross?
a tiny cross on the top of the Real Madrid badge, and they have taken that off.
Remove it.
They remove it.
Fires.
So it's interesting how different clubs will go to different areas and kind of change their things. But I don't know, what are you guys' thoughts on like the religiousness that is actually baked into a lot of the identities, like corporate identities of these clubs these days?
Stay as sensitive as you can, man.
What do you mean by that?
Just stay sensitive to where you're going, where you're headed.
Yeah.
Respect. Everywhere you go, respect.
Yeah.
This nigga has a ski on. It's killing me.
Couldn't agree more. I do think it's interesting. Like, I think it's kind of speaks to, I don't know, just the historical like significance of like the Catholic Church, and like I don't know, different sects of Christianity in general, especially in Europe.
Yeah.
And how just intertwined it was with like the local culture, that like all these club badges and like just history has that like Christian imagery like baked into it. And I think it's something that in a secular society that we live in today, we don't really think about. But like 100 years ago, like, yeah, of course I'm gonna have the cross on my shirt when I play soccer.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's something that's just not as something that we would think about today.
I'll definitely add, like, if you look at sports now, sports is definitely probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, I guess, space in which can bring community together. But take it back, especially in Europe, it was religion more than sport. Way more. Like, there wasn't even, you know what I'm saying, they weren't toe-to-toe in any way.
Yeah. What about like the Muslim countries, their club badges? Do they have Islamic?
Yeah.
Because I've seen like the moon and the star and all
Yeah.
that, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like
Especially
it
like North African clubs.
especially
Egyptian
I was gonna
clubs.
say. I was
Yeah.
gonna say.
Al-Ahli.
Yeah.
Wydad Casablanca, Raja Casablanca, like they have, there's Islamic.
So
like,
it kind of goes in the
Yeah.
in all directions, in the sense that
Of course.
footy is so deeply tied to these
Yeah.
communities, these countries.
It's a better
And we say that it kind of is religion, and like you see it.
Yeah.
It's also a reflection of literal religion too.
I mean, even Jewish clubs and their club badges.
Yeah.
We don't
Star
have
of
to,
David.
like,
yeah.
the Star of David is very prominent in Jewish clubs.
Yeah.
Like Indian clubs, there's Hindi symbolism and a lot of like.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, at the end of the day, religion is baked into like all
Yeah.
of this commercial football.
Because it didn't
thing.
start commercial. That's
Yeah,
the interesting
it didn't-
part.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Because
it was
football is such a
literally-
reflection of society.
What didn't start commercial?
Footy? Hell no. It didn't start
It
commercial.
was just niggas getting together.
Yeah.
100.
The whole concept of
I'm
Yeah.
just affirming.
just even
Yeah.
seeing like footy as sports as a business, it wasn't like that before.
Football's
Now
for
everything's
kids.
TV rights. Yeah, bro. Like
It's a fact.
it was cultural entertainment.
I do think before we move on,
34.
one topic we gotta touch on regarding Ramadan is France.
Hey, yeah.
We got some news.
Nah, more so
Okay.
just like
I was being
and-
worried when I hear about France around. I get nervous. You know what I mean? Like I get a little
Yeah.
nervous about France because they be doing
Nah,
shit.
it's
They
a
be doing
fact.
shit.
But just like an ongoing discussion and issue is the fact that like the French Footballing Federation refuses to allow for a break in the match for players to break their fast.
Yeah.
And we posted a graphic recently and somebody made that comment like, how come France is the only like country with a major league that is still refusing to allow for players to do that when they have so many players
The
who
most.
are Muslim. They have like all these players from predominantly like African countries who are Muslim and they still don't allow it. So I don't know. I think it's awful. But like, do we
Yeah.
have any thoughts? I think they're actually the only like out of the top leagues, like the Dutch
Yeah.
league, the Premier League. I don't know actually about La Liga, but
I think they do.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen Rudiger do his thing, I think. Yeah, obviously with Benzema, all that shit
Yeah.
happened. So
But it's
It's-
like, what's up with the French?
it's just
man?
the irony that they have the most Muslim players in at least the top 5 leagues that they would not allow that. I would like to know, I guess, if they're fully affirmed and they're nothing remotely religious whatsoever at all. I think you've talked about that before, that they try to be fully secular.
Yeah.
But I'd be interested to see if they actually follow that, and this is more something that they don't adhere to, if you know what I'm saying.
They
So,
do because Lent is also treated the same way, which is a Christian holiday. So
Yeah, that's what makes it interesting. If they are actually fairly making sure they're not putting anything religious anywhere,
yeah,
then how do you get around it?
yeah.
But I don't
it's
know.
tough. It's and this is a political conversation. But
Yeah.
the integration of different people in different countries. And
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right. Josh had to dip somewhere to be. No, I'm playing. But another question of the week I have is that March is Women's History Month. So any special shout outs that we want to give to any teams that made a special moment, any players, coaches, even media members, et cetera, just like as our first highlight of the month. And we'll definitely keep it going throughout the month as we did with Black History Month. But any specific moments, players, teams, coaches that y'all want to shout out? I know I got one for sure.
You can start.
Yeah, so being Spanish, I got to shout out the Spanish women's national team and how fast they've grown, because the switch from being almost non-existent to becoming the best, unequivocally to me, the best team in the world right now, it has been extremely quick. And to actually win the Women's World Cup as well, right? It didn't take a bunch of deep runs, almost there. Like, nah, they became the winners in 2023. So that's a major shout out to them, and it proves that Spanish success and footballing philosophy, once you invested in it correctly on the women's side, you see how dominant they've become. On top of the national team, we have FC Barcelona women, even though I'm a Real Madrid fan, absolutely dominating, but that is a reflection of the Spanish women again. So big shout out to them. And then also a big specific shout out to Salma Paruello, because I think that she means a lot for representation in the country. We talk about Lamine Yamal, Alejandro Balde, Nico Williams, what it means to be Black Spanish man. But I think to also have Black Spanish women at the forefront is important for that visibility. Just so even as a kid, when you're watching this national team play and you see a Black woman on the team, you say, oh, there's Black people in Spain. Without that kind of visibility in these larger cultural frames, whether it's also, film, TV, you think that these are monolithic white countries, but they're absolutely not. So definitely shout out to Salma for that. On top of just being a baller, she's a crazy athlete. She was, I believe, an Olympic youth champion in track before being full-time only in footy. So she's just a crazy athlete. Shout out to her. I think she's only like 20 years old. She's the future and right now. So big shout out to her.
It's tough. I think for me, my shout out would definitely have to go with Gotham.
Gotham.
Yeah.
Oh, can we get the camera on Kendrick real quick?
Oh.
Yeah, you good, bro.
Yeah. I think for me, for Women's History Month, my shout out would have to go to Gotham FC. I think they've done a lot for like the representation of soccer in general in New York.
Yeah.
Because like as we know, like Red Bulls has struggled for a couple of years now. NYCFC, we got a chip in the last 5 years, but I feel like Gotham has actually done an amazing job of actually just generating a lot of excitement. And obviously, like, we know a couple of people over at that organization. Shout out to Antonelli, shout out to Emma, all the people who are like doing the work behind the scenes to just like make that brand as great as it is. And then also like Gotham, I feel like also is just a hub of like insane talent, like especially American talent. They got Midge Purse over there. They got Emily Sonnet, Rose Lavelle,
Lynn Williams.
all the like, Lynn Williams. I think she actually left recently, but she was on the team formerly.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like the actual like footballing acumen on that team is insane. So shout out to Gotham, shout out to the home team. Yeah.
It's Women's History Month, so my shout out for Women's History Month in soccer is an incredible story that I don't think is spoken about enough. Linda Caicedo is a Colombian soccer player who a couple years ago played in 3 World Cups just after surviving ovarian cancer. She was 15 years old. She survived, and what's the proper term?
For what?
I guess she beat ovarian cancer.
Yeah, survived, beat any of those work. Yeah.
At 15 years old, she beat ovarian cancer, then went on to play in the Under-20 World Cup for Colombia. Then a couple months later, played in the Under-17 World Cup for Colombia, mind you, still at 15 years old. And then went on to play in the actual Women's World Cup for Colombia within the same year, scoring a goal for Colombia in that tournament, and then moving to Real Madrid, where she is now a starter. It's an insane story. It's not covered enough. Her story is not covered enough. Most female athletes' stories, especially in soccer, are not given enough shine.
Yeah.
But just like in the men's game, you have these incredible stories of people overcoming incredible difficulties, hardship. Yeah. I think hers is one of, like, genuinely when I read that story, I had to stop and like research it and understand.
Yeah.
So shout out Linda.
Yeah, she definitely has one of the crazy stories. Shout out to her. And we're definitely going to highlight a whole bunch of other stuff this month. Looking to have a women guest as well, player on too. So keep tuned in with us for Women's History Month. Another question, last question of the week, is the Oscars just occurred.
Yes.
So I would love to know, what are y'all favorite football/soccer movies of all time?
I'll go first.
Let's go.
It's Goal.
Goal. Come on, Santiago.
Goal is by
when he signed for Madrid.
is by far the
Come on,
best,
bro.
not soccer movie, but soccer movie series. Kendrick, you're making a face like you haven't seen it.
You haven't seen Goal?
You haven't seen Goal?
Should we shame him? Live on, like...
I think the comments will do it for us.
Yeah, the comments gonna cook you, bro. You haven't seen Goal?
Really?
You heard of it?
You haven't seen it? Oh, we'll watch this together.
Have you seen She's the Man? Have you seen Bend It Like Beckham?
We're gonna get to me. Go.
This is crazy. This is why I haven't seen nothing, bro.
We're gonna get to me, bro.
Wow.
guy's
Goal is an
not
incredible
legend.
movie. the scenes when he first goes to Newcastle and he doesn't know whether or not he should tell the nurse about his asthma is like one of my favorite scenes in movies.
Yeah.
I think another incredible scene is the scene where he gets scouted playing in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. What a good movie. What a good movie series. And I think also it was the first time where soccer players were in movies, like became movie stars like that.
Oh, Real
we
Madrid.
haven't seen cameos like that of soccer players in a minute. So shout out Goal.
Yeah, shout out Goal 2 when he goes to Real Madrid. They had all the actual stars there. You saw Raul on screen, Zidane, Figo. To have the actual Pique Galacticos involved with that film is incredible. And I think, too, him being from LA, from America, that was a little footy moment in the US. Obviously, we were a lot younger at that age, you know, just kids and everything. But, like, that was a little bit of a moment. And it takes that little bit of culture to push things.
Yes.
Obviously, it didn't happen on our side of the world, but Bend It Like Beckham meant a lot, especially for like the South Asian community in England. So definitely shout out to that movie. I'd say it's definitely another classic. But Kendrick, any ones that you got? I know you ain't seen shit,
my parents came from Haiti.
You got a little, No, keep going. You felt it? It's on your jersey now? I mean, hoodie. It's on the hoodie. Yep. There we go. Oh, we're gonna eat it?
It's all good. Nah, my parents came from Haiti, bro. Like, I didn't really grow up watching like a lot of, I guess, like core movies. Like every now and then, we might go to the library and like rent like a random ass like children's movie.
Yeah.
But like, there's a lot of movies just in mainstream culture that I've never seen.
It's funny. I'm trying to think like what I saw was me versus my parents. Because I feel like that was just me on some footy obsessed shit, and I heard about it, and I just like, I don't think
enjoy Goal.
I guess more so like I just didn't grow up watching movies like
period.
that.
Okay.
So it was like I wasn't
wouldn't
like
see
seeking
that.
out movies. Like it was just kind of.
That's fair.
It wasn't as big of a thing for me.
That's fair. That's fair.
But Seb,
Yes.
if we want to jump into some league shit,
Let's get into some league stuff, bro.
what's going on with your club, man?
AC Milan, crazy.
Oh.
So we have a fun story for today.
Nah, he printed out y'all L, bro.
We have a fun story for today.
Dude is a journalist.
This is my place of work, by the way.
Yeah,
I get harassed like this.
The title for today's article is Ultras Leave Milan Alone Against Lazio. The American model has failed.
Wow.
Basically, the gist of the story is, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, the Ultras were very upset following the AC Milan's exit from the Champions League.
Yeah.
They issued a statement basically saying, we're going to be showing up to the games late.
Yep.
You guys are in awful shape. Something needs to change. The ownership is awful.
Yep.
The coach is awful. The players are awful. If we don't get it together, we're going to abandon the team completely.
Yes.
And then they lost to Lazio.
3 in a row, right?
Yeah.
Oh no, Lazio
The
was
third
the
loss in a row.
Yeah.
You guys now are sneakily approaching the bottom half of the table.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't stop there. That was the first headline for today.
Doesn't stop.
The second headline today. The second headline for today reads: Inter and AC Milan Ultras stand trial over organized crime offenses.
Nice. This is good.
That also is like very on brand and expected.
Nice.
I'm not going to attempt to tell this story.
They got a Rico?
Essentially, the leaders of the Milan Ultras for both clubs have been tied up in some very gross crimes as of lately, including murder, bribes,
Racketeering stuff,
threatening fans outside the stadium,
bribery,
taking payments in order to let people in the stadium even though they don't have seats or tickets. A lot of corruption going on. So
Omerta.
I just think it's funny, like the Ultras play such a key part of the club in a way, but they're also out here doing like horrendous things. So yeah, what's going on? What's going
Is
on?
everything in Italy mob related?
For
bro?
the American,
The second thing is normal.
For the
It's not a
American
headline.
fan.
Who wrote the article on the second thing?
He ain't put his name.
That's a non-story in Italy.
his name is Terry Daly.
Yeah, some British guy. Some British guy who needed some clicks. That's a normal story. in Italy.
But my thing is like it's normal for you, as an Italian, but as an American fan,
Sounds crazy.
it's like what, like the leader of your fan group is out here.
Imagine Knicks
doing
fan. Imagine me and my
That's what
Knicks
I'm
fans
saying,
outside
bro.
the garden, like what's
that's
going
what Ultras
on,
are.
bro?
Ultras are.
Explain.
The Ultras in Europe started out, even in England.
I don't
gang?
tell us, bro.
Hooliganism is gang culture at the end of the day. No, it is.
No,
Hooliganism-
low-key is, yeah.
Hooliganism, in
Hooliganism
England
and- yeah.
started as like gang culture, and granted, it was old times. So, you guys ever heard of the gangs in New York, like the old?
Yeah, I've seen the movie. Long ass
So-
movie. Yeah.
Like that started in Europe. The concept of like organized gangs based on different like ethnicities in Europe and religions is like a thing that then moved into soccer. And so because soccer represented different communities, and these communities tended to be from lower income level communities, a lot of crime occurred to make ends meet. And so you had people who perhaps were selling things illegally, or who were maybe making money for transporting things not necessarily by the book. And that turns into organized crime. But then that organized crime group is also a fan of this team that represents their neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's very common throughout Italy, throughout France, throughout Spain. I think Barca's fan club is banned, or were banned for a minute.
Maybe.
So yeah, I mean,
Facts.
Yeah, right.
let me find it.
I mean,
Let me find the name. Because
maybe one group or something. I mean, their fans aren't that
Barca
great. So.
Ultras banned.
Let's see.
The boy shows.
But that could also be political shit. Oh, this is way back.
No, it was a while. This is like they were like inciting violence. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a
No,
Catalan
it's
word.
connected because it can get sticky. I'm sure some Bilbao ones were too. When you think about what happened with them with Eta in the 80s too, and the whole bomb squad.
But yeah.
and shit like that shit is
So, anyways, that's a non-story. The stuff about AC Milan and crime is like I'm not.
But if they're
first of all, I'm not going to speak on that.
But if they're actually being put on trial, that could be new.
Nah, I mean niggas are on trial in Italy all the time. Now, who's the judge?
Yeah.
is the important question.
Who's his team? Like,
Nah. In terms of Milan and the fans abandoning the club, this is not the first time. This is not even the first time this decade. In 2013, there's a famous graphic, we'll put it on the screen, when AC Milan fans did the exact same thing, 2013, 2014. And there's a famous banner that reads, "Insert coin to save AC Milan." And the whole stands were empty except for this one banner that the Ultras left.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, I mean, it's a club that has won the second most titles in Europe. And so the fans expect to win games. You can't lose 3 in a row. You can't get 4 red cards in 5 games. And if you do, the fans are going to make it known. And also there's a lot of tension because AC Milan has become, and it's weird because I work in sports media trying to grow sports in America. So I understand the flip side of trying to like grow a brand globally. And so I understand partnering with Fortnite. I understand partnering with Roblox. I understand
Off-White,
doing Off-White. I get it. And it's cool. And I get that it brings new fans globally. But as someone who is a fan of the club, when I see my team lose 5 games in a row and then I see an Instagram post in the morning and the caption reads, "It's morphin' time,"
I saw that.
and it's a picture of a Power Ranger and we've just lost 5 games in a row, at a certain point, it's like, I think we can call Fortnite and ask them if we can maybe push the release back a couple weeks because you just lost. Maybe you can. Maybe you sign a contract.
Yeah.
But it's morphin' time.
Yeah, that was insane.
5 losses in a row. Caption. No hashtags.
Sneak it in.
No, it's morphin' time, and it's just a picture of a red Power Ranger.
Yeah, it's
It's
not
nasty
good.
work.
Anyways, we'll be back. We always come back.
Yeah.
Eventually,
It points to that whole commercialization thing we were talking about earlier, though. Like, it's really crazy how far it's come.
Yeah, and I do a lot of that work, unfortunately.
Yeah. Unfortunately, as we sit on a media platform podcast talking about this shit, it's crazy.
The American model has failed.
Yeah. I'm crying. Real quickly, though, in the Champions League, we got some Champions League stuff going on. My boys came away with a very solid, it's only the first half, very solid Leg 1, 2-1 win over rivals Atletico Madrid. 3 really good goals. All goals were off the wing, drop a defender, bang it in bottom corner. Rodrigo from the right side, Julian Alvarez copied him, and then Brahim said, "Let me do that shit right there, too." So 2-1. A lot to play for heading to Wanda Metropolitano. That's a very tough stadium. Let's go and bring it. But winning at home, I was like, okay. That's 2 thumbs up to start. 2 thumbs up to start.
Can I say, this might be a hot take, but I think that Real Madrid, unfortunately, because of the amount of talent, does not allow for its players to be valued at the level that they are, like, in terms of how good they are.
Individually?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a fact.
Like, Rodrigo, I think, is genuinely one of the best players on earth, but because of the amount of talent that is in that club, he doesn't get enough shine, and so the PR machine just can't be behind him as much as the other Real Madrid players.
But guess what?
So his PR goes down, but this brother is insane.
Ridiculous. But you know what's beautiful about Real Madrid too, though? Players like that are genuinely happy and stay at the club because they enjoy it and are comfortable knowing that's why we have 15 now, 15 and counting. This 14 is already outdated, bro.
But even Brahim
you know
Diaz,
what I mean?
bro.
Like,
Even Brahim Diaz.
Brahim Diaz is ridiculous.
He's a ridiculously good
And he's
player.
a squad player.
Yeah.
He's only starting because Jude didn't play today, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, Jude was out. Exactly. That's why.
Suspended.
Yeah, another suspension.
But he got to chill, bro.
That
He
one
was
wasn't as
He
bad.
was suspended in UCL and La
I know,
Liga
he can
this
only play
week.
Copa del Rey. I'm like, fucking hell,
He
nigga.
couldn't play anything,
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, he's been pretty good not getting suspended for his attitude. The one thing with the ref was his one, like, all right, Jude. But yeah, no, good win.
So-
Rodrigo is incredible.
Question.
Yes.
Bellingham said Rodrigo is the most talented player at Real Madrid.
Yeah.
You as a Real Madrid fan, how do you feel about that?
So talent, when he says that too, I think he also spoke about like when you're just kind of chilling with the ball and training, you see the little like you know what I mean, like those little moments of like pure footballing skill. I can understand, especially as like that's his boy, how he feels that way. I don't think he's the best player on the team.
Yeah.
Could he be the most skilled, most talented? He could be. He could be. I mean, how do you compare his talent to Mbappe? And when you speak talent, you don't really think about
technically.
you know what I mean?
He's more
think that's
technically
fair.
gifted than Mbappe.
I do think though, Vinny, well, some of the things I've seen Vinny be able to do under pressure on the wing
Yeah.
to get through two defenders through his skill and athleticism is something Rodrigo can't do.
I'll put it like this: Vinny is a volume skill player,
Yeah.
so he'll try a lot of things, and so
Vinny
sometimes
tries some crazy shit.
sometimes they won't work, and so
Yeah.
I think that affects his percentage of how
Yeah.
good people think they are.
Yeah.
He is. Whereas Rodrigo, when he tries it rarely, but it
Yeah.
always works.
Yeah, Rodrigo's always been a little more controlled.
Yeah.
When I saw them both at 18, I thought Rodrigo was a more complete player.
Yeah.
His decision-making has always been exceptional.
Yeah.
Two-footed. His first Champions League debut, he scored a hat trick.
Yeah.
Right foot, left foot header, perfect
Yeah.
hat trick. So I think he's always been a little more well-rounded, but the explosiveness and that I'm the best player in the world vibe that Vinny can do at any moment, different planet.
Yeah.
Different planet. So,
agree.
but the fact they're all on the same team and are homies and enjoy it and are winning trophies and like phenomenal. And if he leaves at 27, you don't owe Madrid nothing. Like,
Another La Liga topic. This is also very, very controversial. Pique said something recently on an interview. He was
Yeah.
asked whether or not Lamine Yamal would start during the era at which he plays in, and we'll put the squad in which Pique played in underneath. But a front three of Messi, Eto'o, and Henry, or was it Ronaldinho maybe?
either doesn't
Nah,
matter.
It was the
It was Dino, then it was Henri when
Yeah.
PK was there.
So a front three of Messi, Eto'o up top, and Henry. Does Lamine Yamal get into that anywhere in those three?
Off the bench for sure. He's not starting though.
He's not starting though.
You know, Messi didn't really start. Messi's first crazy season, I remember he scored a hat trick against Real Madrid. He was 19.
Yeah.
Lamine turned 17 right like during the end of the Euros. He's not turning 18 till midsummer.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So would he maybe not be starting right now? Yeah, but like we're just in an era where I think that young players are getting starting positions faster. Especially with Barca not being what they used to be. So you look at Pedri starting the way he did, Gavi, Kubarsi now. Barca's super, super young, also because of their financial issues. So it's kind of a stupid point to be made because Messi wasn't 16 doing what Lamine is doing in the league. So I don't know if he's trying to take a shot with it or if he's trying to, you know what I mean? Like, it just isn't peak Barcelona right now, so he has the opportunity to start. But if he played in that era, he would eventually become a starter. And if not, because Messi's on the right wing, who we say is the greatest ever, then he'd go somewhere else. That's kind of a stupid point, if you know what I mean. I don't know. It feels like unnecessarily lack of support for him.
It was fairly pointless.
Yeah.
It was fairly pointless.
And he's 17, bro. What are we talking about? You know what I mean? Like,
It's a true statement.
yeah.
But it's kind of like just why.
Oh, God forbid he doesn't start over peak Messi. You know what I mean? Like, what are we talking about?
I have another question.
Let's go.
This is also about youth talent. This
Yeah.
is just a quiz for you guys.
All right.
I found here the top 10 most profitable youth academies since 2014.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you guys to give me which 10. You guys just have to guess.
Chelsea,
Chelsea is number 5.
Barca.
Barca's not on this list.
What?
They don't
Profitable.
sell enough,
They don't
though.
sell.
It's true. They really
Ajax.
play on the team. Ajax for sure.
Ajax is number 2.
You was already Dortmund? Okay,
Dortmund is not on this list.
City?
Manchester City is on this list in
Wow.
Just think about Brahim, Cole Palmer,
Manchester City is
Tosin, all
10th.
those guys.
Arsenal.
Arsenal's not on this list.
Man United?
No.
PSG?
No.
Nah.
There's a lot of talent in France, though. Think about even like a Lille or a
The most profitable
Profitable.
youth academies.
fucking Frankfurt. I don't know.
No.
Galatasaray.
No.
Sporting Lisbon.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Sporting
Benfica.
Lisbon.
Yes. Number 1.
Hey.
Wow. They've produced some talent. Porto. We want to say in Portugal.
Porto is below the 10th place.
Okay, but they're out there a little bit.
PSV.
No.
We already said Ajax. Feyenoord wouldn't be there. I feel we're skipping Italy.
You guys have said
Oh, yeah.
Benfica, Ajax, Chelsea, and Manchester City, and Sporting.
There's 4 more.
Is anyone in Italy producing talent like that? I feel like I don't see young Italians running around though.
Yeah.
But it's profitability.
Milan?
Inter, Milan,
No,
Lazio,
Juve?
Roma,
No.
Juve,
no,
Fiorentina.
Napoli,
no.
Atalanta.
There you go. That's
Oh,
the one.
Fucking insane.
That makes sense.
That is the
That makes
that is
Who
the
be coming
producer.
from there?
That
Who,
makes
who are these players?
It's in terms of profit, but if you think about it,
True.
Atalanta's put up Scamacca,
He's a youth
Moyes.
product?
Yeah, Moyes.
Moyes?
Came to like there's
Okay.
Atalanta
Oh,
is that.
Diallo too.
Yes,
Was he considered a youth product?
Yeah, he was.
Wasn't also on
he was
Celtic
he
and
was
shit,
in the
though?
academy though. for a bit.
Okay. That's like a nuance.
So one English club.
Real Madrid?
Oh, he said one more.
Yeah.
English
Oh,
club.
you guys
no,
said
you're saying one more
Real
English
Madrid.
club?
Real Madrid is there.
Spurs?
Oh, Real Madrid is there.
Real Madrid is there. Yes.
Oh, it's lit. Real Madrid, and then one more English club.
One more
Spurs.
English club.
Spurs.
Spurs,
So we're done.
and then one more French club in number 3.
Marseille,
No,
Lille,
no.
Lyon.
There you go.
Yeah, I said Lyon got to be up there. Okay.
Awesome. What do you guys
Cool.
think about that?
It's interesting when you think about profitability versus like best
Like talent,
you know,
yeah.
talent. Yeah.
Flamengo is 14 actually.
That Vinny's from there, right?
Yeah, and then it's a whole bunch of Brazilian clubs after that.
Perez is looking, nigga. He's looking.
That was fun. Anyway, speaking of La Liga stuff, this week we have some incredible games once again in La Liga, and once again we are bringing you guys our picks for who you should put into your squad. So, 5-star followers, my pick this week, Real Betis is hosting Las Palmas. Recently, a lot of these Betis players have been going crazy, but a sneaky pick, if you can pick him up and put him into your team, is Isco. I watched him last week. He is really, really, really going crazy. An incredibly skillful player. And as the commentators keep saying, vintage Isco performance after vintage Isco performance. So get him in your team if you can.
All right, I'm gonna take Take Kubo. They just came, he's plays for Real Sociedad, who just came off of a very disappointing 4-0 loss to Barcelona. They're desperate to pick up some points and are playing a lowly ranked as of now Sevilla team. So I think it's a really big opportunity for that offense to finally get on the page that they need to. Kubo being one of the most exciting young talents out there, especially in La Liga. We've seen what he can do off that right wing. Recently scored an absolute banger from distance. So I think he'll either get on the score sheet or an assist, but I think it's a really big opportunity for Real Sociedad as a team, and I expect Kubo to be a big part of that, especially on the offense.
I think for me, I've said it before, I'll say it again. Dotrmund has to be in your team if you're trying to pick up points.
Good value, too.
16 goals and assists in 26 matches this season in La Liga. He's a sneaky pick, Croatian. He's like 6'3". He knows how to get ahead on the ball. He's tucking away penalties. He's unstoppable right now. So, like you said, if you want a player for good value that most folks may not be keeping an eye out, pick up Dotrmund on Osasuna.
Absolutely. You be putting them in.
Awesome.
Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Moving on from Spain to Germany.
Borussia Dortmund has released an incredible special jersey inspired
Yes.
by some of their more classic vintage jerseys from the past. Guys, what are your reactions?
I love it. I love the color. I love the pop. And I love that it's a modern rendition on a classic kit.
Yep.
And I love that they're utilizing the design in the long sleeve.
Yep.
So it gets better as you wear a long sleeve. It goes all the way down. Taking that design consideration in right now, I think means a lot because some people feel like the long sleeve is kind of dying. They're not using it as much. So I really, really like this. This is dope. This is dope to see.
Yeah, I think like there's so many ways that you can style this kit. If you want to rock it with some jeans, you can throw on a little black denim. You could throw on some cargo shorts.
Yeah.
And I think like having the sleeves be a different pattern than the main part of the shirt allows for you to layer with like either a vest or a jacket or something in a certain way that you wouldn't be able to do with just a regular plain kit. So shout out to Dotrmund.
Because you have a jacket on, then you take it off. It's like, oh, look at your
Exactly.
sleeves, bro.
Yeah.
That's fire. That's dope. That's dope.
Speaking of clubs in the Bundesliga,
All right.
so do you guys understand how fan membership works in the Bundesliga?
I feel like I've heard about it, but I'm not like 100% sure.
So basically, fan membership in the Bundesliga is very different from sports in general, especially here in the US, where fans are required to have a ownership stake within the club. They have a 50+1 rule, which means that at least 50+1% of the club, so 51%, must be owned by fans. And you essentially have to pay a membership fee to own a percentage or a portion of a Bundesliga club, which allows for decisions to be made by a collective of a voting body of fans. So they vote for club president, club staff, essentially the management and government group of the club that makes the decisions is all fan decided, and it allows for the league to be very much controlled by the actual fans. Something that the Bundesliga president once said is that as soon as Bundesliga fans feel like customers and not fans, we have a problem. And so this concept of membership in the Bundesliga is very unique, and Bundesliga clubs. It's not just Bundesliga clubs that have members, and we'll put a graphic here. However, Bundesliga clubs have the most members out of any single league or club in the world. And Schalke, who is in the second division, has the third most members in all of soccer. I don't know if you guys have thoughts on this concept or like what it makes you guys think of first, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's dope. I think especially in a time of so much commercialization of the sport and people complaining about often foreign money coming in and influencing the club and being run strictly as a business, to have the local fans getting a piece of that pie and being able to have this sort of decision making allows them to keep their essence much more than if they weren't able to do that. And so I think that means a lot. And I think that fans often feel like they're such a big part of the game, but don't get their value in return. But what more value than having actual voting ownership in the club that you support?
Yeah, I think it's an integral part of what makes the Bundesliga the amazing league that it is. At the end of the day, like you said, fans want to feel like they're a part of what they're watching. Once you no longer feel like this is something that really means something to you and that you're a member of, you can easily just walk away from it or distance yourself or turn it off because you no longer have that same amount of investment, financially, but also like emotionally and like the love that you develop for the club and for the league. So I think it's an amazing model, and I think more organizations around the world should use it.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll start today with a new rule that is entering the soccer world. Goalkeepers to be punished with corners for holding the ball for more than 8 seconds. So essentially, the goalkeeper picks up the ball. We know goalkeepers love to waste time.
Yep.
If you're holding on to the ball for more than 8 seconds or off a goal kick, you're taking too much time. The other team gets a corner kick. How do we feel about that?
I think it's good. I saw a stat somewhere, and let me find it. I saw a stat recently that said that it was around 45 to 60% of 45 to 60 minutes of actual play is occurring during soccer games, which means there's about 30 minutes of like time being wasted. Wait, what?
I'm just crying because that shit says 12 years ago, and the math ain't math.
What do you mean?
That don't make no sense, bro.
The math just...
Wait, what?
Well, half the game is not being played?
Yeah.
Not the yet.
No, Gabe.
It just sounds crazy. That's all. I'm sorry. And also it's Reddit. A nigga said 12 years ago that 45.
It's actually shockingly
shockingly
low.
There's
it's
a way.
shockingly low.
You count throw-ins and free kicks, and I get it. I get it to some extent.
I feel like it's more so 10 to 20 minutes.
Yeah. The level of like, think about what 45 actually means.
Percent. So this is percent. This is Opta. This is an Opta stat. I don't know if you guys can see
Opta's legit.
Percent of total match minutes with the ball in play in the English Premier League from 2022 to 2023. Manchester City keeps the ball in play 61% of the time. Okay. The bottom team, Leeds, keeps it in play 50 minutes, so 50%, which is 45 minutes.
I think this is how much possession they have.
No, this is total match minutes with the ball in play. This is not possession.
But that means you're not counting corner, like
exactly. That's exactly my point. You're not counting corners. You're not counting when the.
This would add more low key. Because how much of this is the goalie holding onto the ball?
No, that's what I'm saying. But that's a very small percentage of the overarching problem in which the ball is not actually in play, but the goalkeeper holding the ball in his hands is something that we should get rid of because this is something that is not in play.
It's a sizable amount.
Yeah, I get it.
Bro,
I mean,
50% is low as fuck.
I think the difference is, but here's the thing.
No matter what that stat means,
I think one of the bigger... It's kind of all sports when you think about it too.
Yeah,
it's actually, what's funny? This is a super high percentage for sports. If you think about NFL being 60 minutes of 3 hours?
It is.
The max you can have is 33%.
Yeah.
So it's actually very high. Yeah. I think with soccer, the reason you don't feel it is because the ball's back in like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The throw-ins here, the corner, it's in and out. It's still very fluid.
It's a lot of in and out. But it's still very fluid. A lot of in and out.
Yeah.
Which means there's a lot of out because there's a lot of in. but it's much more fluid than football. I agree.
Yeah.
However, I don't think we realize it as soccer fans because we're so blessed to not watch sports like basketball and football.
I love basketball.
I love basketball.
But the commercial
and I love
shit is
football too,
annoying,
but commercial-wise, I'm saying
It's awful. It's awful.
it's a lot of stop.
It
and
is.
not a lot of start. Whereas soccer, stop, start, stop, start.
And there's no timeouts.
So yeah, I think I appreciate the fact that goalkeepers are incentivized to just move a little quicker so we can get the ball and play a little faster.
Do we think they're gonna referee it strictly?
Yeah, I think so.
Because like speaking of basketball, the NBA will kind of randomly decide when we take traveling serious. Then out of nowhere, the ref will call like 4 travels in a row. All the players get very confused. So like, are they gonna ref the 8 seconds like the 8 seconds in the NBA, or is it gonna be like 12 is 8? You know what I mean? I'm curious to see how they referee it.
As we Americanize more and more the sport, I think the level of entertainment will be prioritized, and I think it's very entertaining for a goalkeeper to be forced to give the ball up for a corner.
Yeah.
So I think the ref will blow the whistle because it's a corner now.
That's some drama, bro.
Oh yeah.
So it'll
They
be
added such a crazy
Because it's gonna
now
be
VAR. Are you gonna review?
It's gonna be like,
you know,
oh,
Arsenal
it was 7
fan,
seconds, not 8 seconds.
An
like,
Arsenal
the
fan's
time that he
gonna say-
touched the ball, like, yeah.
What's possession too? Like, and also like, if you smother a 1-on-1 from the striker and you're like laying on the ball and then you get up, when does the one start?
These are all good questions.
That's why I don't think they're gonna start super strict, or they need to be very, very clear. This is what we deem possession. So we'll see. I hope it works for the best. I don't want to be hating new shit, but please, like, don't piss me off. You know what I mean? Like, don't be stupid.
You have anything else?
I did, but
I want to get you guys to react to something.
Let's do it.
Hilarious.
I love it. Wait, the Mexican halftime shows? I want to react. To that.
Oh yeah, can you
It's
send
in the
that?
chat. I can find it real quick, and then you can put on the
Before
screen.
you look at that, watch this.
Yeah.
Para vos, ¿cuál fue uno de los momentos más graciosos de la Europa League?
El de Lushindama haciendo todo bien.
Hacia adelante. Por aire otra vez Cristian Lushindama. ¡Qué bárbaro! ¡Qué jugador,
Todo corazón.
Bailarín de capoeira. La reventó como peleador de... ¡Mira, míralo! ¡Es un show!
Es un parolazo.
¡Pero efectivo! ¡Míralo!
Esta última ya fue totalmente tribunera, ¿eh?
Por eso los patean.
Wait, what's going on, bro?
No, ¡qué bárbaro, Sensacional lo del africano.
Why is the ball keep going towards
Y le
him?
salió un pase.
No!
did he save it?
Yeah! Wait, the nigga still got it.
¡Pégale!
Oh, they dropped
¡Pégale el
him.
movimiento! ¡Disparo!
No way.
¡Increíble lo que acabamos de ver!
Nah, there's no fucking way.
Is that real, bro?
That's
Europa League?
This is Europa League game, bro.
You're lying, bro.
That's last week.
And he in the shit below it. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's true.
That's
Yeah, it's
crazy.
That was.
I thought we was watching like,
I thought that was like a spoof.
you know what I mean?
No, that was
that was a
Europa
real
League.
match.
Bro, the header. Wait. What?
The save from the keeper was tough, though.
Yeah.
The keeper
Jesus
got
Christ.
back.
Oh,
Damn.
That is unbelievable. Nah, 5-a-side, yo, this is a very funny podcast.
That was ridiculous.
The last thing we have is Seb. I'm gonna find this in the chat right now.
Okay,
I don't know if y'all know, but like Americans, we do love entertainment. But I think Mexico doing it better, bro, because the shit they be doing is lit.
The Mexicans might got it.
The Mexicans might got it for real, bro. I'm gonna find this right now.
The Mexicanos be turned.
They understand fun, bro. We gonna find it. Let me keep scrolling. Oh, not gonna comment on that.
10 burner.
Here we go. Type shit. Seb, I'm resending it to the chat right here. The 5e chat. Yep, right there.
Hasta con
So we are
A ver qué tal.
This is halftime of a Ligue MX game. And this shit is lit, bro. Hold on. They do Nickelodeon shows at halftime, bro.
I would have threw it.
Definitely all the set base up, bro. Oh, he's still going. Oh, yo, there you go. Yo. Nah, this is OD.
You know he's dumb lit right now.
He dumb lit. Oh, he going.
Incredible.
Nah, the first leap over the first leap.
That nigga, I did high jump in high school, bro. You doing the flip?
Nah, click that
That
one more
shit is
time, bro.
crazy. Nah, restart that jump.
I just do this from the beginning.
What's the name, Mauricio?
Hasta con el cielo.
The leap was
A
kind
ver
of
qué
tough. He
tal.
got up.
Vamos.
Yo,
En ese obstáculo.
wow. Nah, you should do high jump, bro.
I think he was real happy about how he started.
Oh,
That would have
He
hurt.
a warrior, though.
MLS
He
could
a
never.
warrior. MLS could never. Wow, now Mexico got it, man. That shit is lit. Shout out Mexico, man. Jesus.
Bet online?
One more thing. One more. It's super quick.
Yeah.
Please.
Question.
You took my name.
Who do y'all think? I think this is from 2023, the 2022-2023 season. This is when Manchester City was in the final against
Inter.
Correct? Yes.
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 Madrid won in 22 and 24.
What club do you think played the most games that season, that calendar year? I'm about to pull up the graphic for it.
I
Actually,
would
this
have
is
guessed
2024.
City. Oh, 2024.
Yep. This
Not
is
what I thought.
teams that played like in the 20 most popular leagues.
Yep.
In terms of like all tournaments that they played in. So this
Yeah.
means if they played Champions League, if they played Copa Libertadores.
Yeah.
Bro, number one is Botafogo.
75.
The first
The
European
first
team.
6 are Brazilian,
The
right?
first.
Do they
lot
have a
are
longer
Brazilian.
league season?
Red Bulls is in there.
They have much more competitions.
That might not.
But it's a Brazilian team. It's Red Bull. It's the Brazilian Red Bull team.
So it's really a Brazilian thing because I see Sao Paulo. Oh, this is like a Brazil thing. What's going on in Brazil?
Except it's not, because then you have Atalanta with 58.
Of course.
Club
No, I'm
America.
saying the first like 15.
Yeah.
That's why do they play so many games?
Gank is up there too.
Yeah.
To be honest, I don't know.
Is their league season slightly longer?
I
Copa
don't know.
Libertadores. I'm sure they have a Brazilian Cup too. Maybe they have a second one the same way England and France have the 2 domestic cups.
I don't even know, bro.
That is OD.
Anyway,
75 soccer. Not basketball, 82 plus.
yeah.
Soccer, 90 minutes running. That's crazy. That's crazy.
I've
I
been
would not
following
guess
Memphis
that.
on Instagram. He posts like every 2 days from a
Yeah,
different
yeah.
game.
Bro, he
So
cut his hair.
I mean, even I feel like every time we like get to the end of a season and we're like, oh, that was
Brazil's
lit.
always playing.
It's like the games are on again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Neymar
They're already back.
Yeah. Like Neymar just left Saudi and was like, oh, like
Yeah.
he's gonna go, and then like he's played like 20
Playing
games.
every year.
Yeah.
That's true.
Or he has a season worth of stats.
Yeah,
Club
bro,
America is
like-
up there too.
Yeah.
A lot more American teams, meaning North and South America.
And then,
you
of
would
course,
guess.
it's Atalanta who went to Conference League final.
yeah.
Bruges who went to Atalanta went to Europa League final. Bruges who went to Conference League final. Genk who went to Conference League final. Fiorentina who went very far in the Conference League.
They had all Belgian Conference League final.
Yeah.
I didn't even remember
Or
that.
they went to Bruges played Fiorentina.
in the
Fiorentina
final.
beat them in the semifinal.
Oh, semifinal. Okay, got you.
But yeah,
City.
Al
Yeah.
Ahly is probably the first African team. But yeah,
Panathinaikos played a lot.
I mean, we just European players talk about too many games.
Yeah.
Botafogo play 75 games, bro.
True.
So, anyways,
It's a lot of games.
Such is life.
man. Such is life. Such is Five-A-Side. Episode 80. See y'all very, very soon. Peace.